Good evening, and once again, welcome to another edition of Sports Wrap. And once again, your host, Ozzy Lewis. I have to apologize for the late start, but it's 6:14, so we'll make up for the lost time. And with me, of course, as usual, is
Lockhart
Sebastian is always ready to fire his salvos. And today is no less a day for that because of the late start of our program.
Yes, I think
something
needs to be done.
We have again fallen back to the late start.
It's unprofessional.
It doesn't sound
program
good.
supposed to start at 6, we must start at 6.
Yeah.
We have been there a long time. It's unprofessional, and I think...
You can apologize every time.
No. So when it becomes monotonous, every time we have to apologize. So something needs to be done.
It becomes, you lack sincerity.
Yeah,
People won't be...
They think we're lying.
You lack credibility.
Well, let's be the real local language. You got Mati. Yes, and we've been there a long time.
We've been there long.
Yes,
I'm here since over 10 to.
Yeah, it's not good at all. We have to make an effort to start at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, indeed. I totally agree with that. There's no doubt about it. Anyhow, another edition of Sports Wrap, edition number 425. So we are moving on. And today, of course, is the 13th of April, 2023. April racing away. Of course, a lot of news in cricket. One of the stunning revelations today is the firing of legendary Courtney Walsh. There's a great fast bowler, but as an administrator, probably hadn't really given as much as he could have, and the administration decided that it was enough of Courtney Walsh as a manager of the West Indies cricket team. And I don't think Walsh was very enamored of that decision. I'm sure Dr. knows Courtney Walsh very well, a genteel character. Once he comes out speaking, you can see he's a deeply hurt. Courtney Walsh is a great fast bowler, but was he a great manager, Lockhart? That's the thing.
Well, no, I in all fairness, the women's team haven't done very well.
Well, yes.
But Aussie West Indies cricket has always been like, it's not anything new. I mean, remember when Viv Richards retired?
Yes,
he wanted to play the World Cup.
Yes.
The board refused.
Yes.
You remember how Marshall went?
Even when Sobers was unfit
telling me
against
the
test. Yes, Sobers.
Gary Sobers.
1973.
But
yes.
Aussie, even us, in 2019, when Ricky Skerry came, 5 minutes before the press conference, you remember when he had to introduce Haynes as a interim?
Yes.
Jimmy Adams called me and told me, Siba, why? Me need to call you long time. He called me 5 minutes to tell me, well,
Jimmy Adams.
Yeah, the board say, well, they're going to, what they say, the selectors, they will take a pause. That 5 minutes before.
Yeah. In your position as selector.
Yeah, he called me 5 minutes to tell me, well,
yes.
the board going a different direction.
Yes,
We're going to have a press conference.
Yes. He tries his best to soften the fall.
5 minutes before the press conference. So that's how they operate.
You were a victim of that treatment.
5 minutes
so
before
you can understand how Walsh is feeling.
Yeah, Jimmy Adams called me.
Well. Okay, lots of cricket. The IPL, of course, dominating because there's so many matches taking place. And quite a few of them are very keenly contested. Some matches going down very much to the wire. And some very interesting matches indeed, I must say. I don't watch the IPL all that much, but some matches really stand out. And the cricketers are having a great time. Last night, for instance, the old man Dhoni and Jadeja, for big partnership, and they almost won from nowhere at all. And they fell short by some 3 runs. A very exciting match. Dhoni hits a number of sixes, the old man. How old is Dhoni now? 41?
Just over 40.
Yeah, we still
but
very
you call
fit.
him the old man. The guy looks so fit. You call him the old man.
Indeed. But he and Jadeja had a very good partnership there. Very good. And there was a little bit of course, we intend to have our friend Philip White, the man who led the Dominica athletics team out there in the Bahamas. Intend to have a few words with him. Dominica, of course, coming back with 1 gold medal. But remember, Jamaica had 48 gold medals and were distant first from the Bahamas, who came second. A lot of controversies, though. in decision making. Yes,
we'll have to ask Philip White about
yes,
that.
a lot
In
of
fact, he
controversy.
refused to run a race.
Right.
The Islanders, they got together and said, no,
And
we're
there
not
was some
running.
guy wanted to rerun alone.
Yes.
Was he allowed to?
I can't. This guy from St. Kitts.
Yes,
I will have to ask Philip White
Yes.
about that. There are
I
a
saw
lot of
it,
controversy.
a lot of controversies there in Jamaica.
But
you
that
know.
doesn't take away from the brilliance of the Jamaicans.
Yeah. The Jamaicans are really brilliant.
Brilliant.
70 odd medals,
But-
48 gold medals.
And it seems they seem to keep churning them out.
As though it's natural.
It's like the Brazilians in football.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in their genes
Yeah.
like Brazilian football.
They come from nowhere.
From nowhere.
Yeah.
And just make it 48 gold medals. So we'll discuss that more. Philip White will keep us up to speed on a successful Carifta Games there. And tennis, of course, tennis fans, you know that the ATP Masters 1000 continuing, the one in Monte Carlo is on its way. I think they play on clay there in Monte Carlo, so just preparing for the next Grand Slam, which will be at Roland Garros. That's the clay. That is Nadal's home. And the big question is, will Nadal defend his crown? He's looking for his 14th, yes, you heard me right, 14th Roland Garros French Open Championship. That's an amazing knockout.
It is.
If he plays 14. But today, there was a match between Alexander Zverev, the German, who is now ranked number 13, his lowest ranking in a long time. Remember, he got sick, injured last year playing Nadal at the French Open. I think it was in the quarterfinals. So he hasn't been too well of late. He had a great match with Daniil Medvedev, and he went to the third set. Zverev had a couple match points, and he just blew them away. He lost the match in the end. Very close, epic match, a tiebreaker. So Zverev just fell into clinch to have done his morale so good because he has been out of the scene for very long, and he's ranked number 13. I think that's his lowest ranking in the last few years. Medvedev at number 3. But the big news really in tennis today is that Novak Djokovic, reinstated as number 1 in the world, playing in the Monte Carlo Masters today, was beaten by Lorenzo Musetti, ranked number 16, an Italian, and they went 3 sets, but the guy beat the great Novak Djokovic. That's the big news today in the tennis tournament, ATP Masters in Monte Carlo on clay, and we had Zverev and Medvedev playing an epic match. It could have gone either way, and what a match, and I was privileged to watch most of it. So, of course, we have interviews with this, not an interview, but we'll get a summary of what's taking place in football from Gerald George as usual. And we intend to have Women Islands captain, cricket captain, and cricket manager. That's Liam Sebastian and, of course, Atanas. We should have them and find out how did the winners fare in the tournament this year. They came very close to winning, but could they have gone the extra mile with a proper tactical decisions, not properly showing enough match awareness? They could have won the entire tournament. And I'm sure Lockhart will go into that when we have this gentleman, the captain, who had, I think, 670 runs.
640 something.
640 runs for the accumulation of his scores with 2 centuries. So he really had a prolific season. The young Atanas, hails from Granby, of course. He's about, what, 24 now? 24.
But also, I want to, okay, when you finish it.
Yeah, well, that's about it.
Yeah.
And yes, basically, that's it, Lockhart.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Before there's something I want to talk about, but I want to, the people in the Carib territory must be proud. Young Arsenio Fountain was the leading run scorer in the West Indies under-15 tournament. We finished yesterday.
West Indies under-15.
Arsenio Fountain, the leading run scorer.
That's fantastic.
In fact, I heard today or last night they had some welcome for some athletes. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
But here
what
is
about the Karinago boy?
A guy who was the leading run scorer in the West Indies under-15. Under-15, 197 runs, an average of 49.5 something. No mention. In fact, I had to call the local radio station today, and I had to take them to task. They didn't realize
that took place.
Yeah, I mean, here is a youngster from the Carib territory, leading run scorer in the West Indies under-15 tournament, a senior fountain, and that's 6 territory there. Yeah. He scored more runs than anybody from the Leewards, or Barbados or Jamaica or Guyana or Trinidad.
Fantastic.
Youngster from the Caribbean.
Yes.
So we must pride the place has to go to him as well.
Indeed.
For this youngster,
very,
a
very
senior
well,
fountain.
very well deserved. His name is a senior
fountain. From the Caribbean. So I'm sure Barry will know and the people from up there will know. But also I want to go to a point. Last week when we were there, I mentioned about a good friend of mine who had, before the news broke, who had just gotten ill when I got the news.
Oh, yes.
Got the news. Well, next day it made big news and so. But also, if anything, people in Dominica should be protesting is about health care. I heard people earlier this week, they had a program.
Yes.
But let me tell you, also, what is the first thing do you hear when somebody falls sick in Dominica at the hospital? What do you think is first thing you hear?
They fly away.
Oh, exactly.
They get away from here.
First thing you hear, are they going to fly him out?
Yes. First thing you hear, are they going to fly him out?
Like that refrain.
Yeah.
How can you be living in a country there's a boast about state-of-the-art hospital?
Yes.
And the first thing you hear
when
somebody's sick,
first consideration, when is he flying away?
That is disturbing.
Yes.
And to go back to this thing, there was a former government minister. 5 days he was in the hospital.
5 days.
5 days, before he left Dominica.
Yes.
I mean, this to me, if anything should be protested in Dominica. It is. In fact, last week, Wednesday, I think there were about 18 death announcements, 18. And this is frightening in a country where we are boasting about we have health care, the state-of-the-art hospital. What we need, Monsieur, in Dominica, proper equipment. And when I've had too many children.
And you want some trained doctors here too, specialists.
Too many children. Why is it children?
I know what you mean.
They have to learn.
Junior people.
Doctors.
Yes,
they have to
doctors,
learn at some point.
Yes.
But let us get some experienced people. Let us get
specialists.
Our urologists. Let us get an ophthalmologist. Let us get
vascular surgeon.
All kind of people. We don't have that. So every time somebody gets ill,
yes.
When they're going to fly him out, and it's like a refrain, it's like a chorus to a calypso, and this is scary.
You're quite right, Lockhart.
Yeah, but you yourself, you know what I'm talking about.
Indeed, yes.
Everybody has to fly out. How many people can afford to fly out?
That's the point.
How many people? Or who will get priority when it comes to flying out?
Right.
So some people will die if they cannot afford it.
And it's so costly to go out.
It is very costly. You would know that.
Oh yeah, man.
It is very costly. If you cannot afford, and if you don't have links to whoever it is,
you send
who can pay more. And it is scary. And
that's happened for such a long time and not been addressed.
And nobody seems to want to address
it as a fait accompli.
When it happened to them or their family and something happened, people did anything, people should be protesting. It's a state of health where people cannot afford. Because I heard today a guy go doing what he want to do begging for help to go and do some kidney thing.
Yes.
Always a problem. And it is scary in Dominica.
Always going to Antigua, with the Trinidad,
every time. First thing you hear, when it's going to fly him out. Like that chorus to a calypso. When are you going to fly him out? Man, I mean, we need to do something. This is just not good in Dominica at all.
You're quite right, Lockhart.
It's scary.
Very correct. I think we have a caller. Yes, caller?
Good evening, gentlemen. I couldn't agree with you more. We have a state-of-the-art hospital. I don't know if it's a state-of-the-donkey hospital, but it's a state-of-the-art. I don't know what
structure.
So full about it. What is it? Matt tell me, it's a nice building. How did I tell you a beautiful building? I am here from a distance, but not up close. It's not beautiful inside.
This thing is scary.
Let's ask him to play that song for me. Rosy apple on the outside and an inside rot. No, with a lot of people telling you straight they don't want to go sick to have to go to the hospital.
But no ministers go there.
At all.
And that man went up there for 8 days. Labad, your co-worker.
Well, that's what I'm scared. Do you remember here, Edison Labad?
Yeah,
I work with him in custom.
Yes.
In fact, when I got the text, I frightened. I said, what?
8 days.
8 days.
8 days he was up there for.
You serious?
That's 8 days.
Yeah, this Labad, we work together in custom.
Yeah.
Yes, only to find out. I wouldn't disclose what I see. Going to find out. The wife questioning what is wrong, what was wrong. They can't give answer. A after 8 days, they say they'll have to operate on him to find out how he died.
Well.
That's not nonsense.
Boy,
And
this
all the
is,
time the man lie down there,
this is scary, man.
and
This is,
he just passed out like that.
yeah, when I got the text, I was trembling. I couldn't believe it.
It's serious. People that have money, they don't care. As they fall sick, even though they have to stay there 3 days, they'll fly out. A man going to be getting a kidney transplant, his wife giving him a kidney. They're going to do that in Antigua.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Just there,
Antigua on the
unbelievable.
ground there. They have the professionals there to do it. They have the equipment there to do it. They have the place, the facility there to do it. In Dominica, we have a state of the donkey hospital. Bye-bye.
No, in fact, I heard a lady call, and the same time they had it up, and she was saying, I had to laugh. She said, when you go to the hospital, why did they, you don't say, tack on your head? It was hilarious, really. But it's a serious thing that people, I mean, this really, and as I say,
and it's going on for a long time.
People should be protesting for in Dominica. The state of healthcare needs to be addressed. People,
I think we have a couple callers.
Yeah, because this is frightening, man.
Yes?
Good night.
Hi, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes,
good evening.
I am really concerned as a Dominican. And the reason why I am concerned about health in Dominica was leading in the region when it comes for health. We were leading. And I cannot understand what is happening at the Princess Margaret Hospital. I don't call it Dominica China Friendship Hospital because I never know Dominica China Friendship Hospital. Princess Margaret Hospital. We have to be concerned. People are afraid to go there. People are afraid at home and they prepare to die at their home. And the question that arises is, all the qualified people who wants to come and work, who wants to develop, who want to make their contribution, they are denied. And the question is why? Why? And people talk about a beautiful hospital. Where is the equipment? And those people, they don't worry about you and I, because when they fall sick, it's a charter plane and fly them out. It is the poor people that is left to mourn. And everybody that go at the Princess Margaret Hospital, presently, all you hearing is left to mourn. People are afraid. This is not a hospital for people. This is a hospital for pigeons. You go there and the amount of pigeons is thousands of pigeons. And you talk about state-of-the-art hospital, my foot.
Okay, caller, thank you.
Well, but a lot of people call it, I mean, I guess they're concerned.
Let's take one or two more calls on that.
Our guest has not come yet anyway.
Yeah.
Good night.
Take one or two more calls on that.
Good night.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
But the best thing about it, in the 70s and 80s, up to the 80s, people from the Reward Islands had to come to Dominica to surgery in particular.
Correct.
I remember my mother used to have to be preparing things for people had to carry to the hospital, walk up to the hospital to attend to them.
Those were the days.
Serious business, you know.
Yeah.
People from Montserrat, Antigua, Tortola, St. Croix, St. Thomas used to come to Dominica, travel to Dominica to get wellness. Is it so appalling?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, caller. Yeah. Thanks for your comment.
Yeah, but also we must be concerned, because you just don't know if tomorrow could be a turn.
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
Good night.
Yes, caller.
Yes, Tibo. Let me just add my 2 pence to that you discussed there. I don't know if you guys remember in 2019 when Roosevelt Kerry came with a hype about a high-full machine and had all these ministers talking nonsense about state-of-the-art hospital. No longer our people have to travel abroad. I mean, I don't know, boy. This is just laughable, you know. This nonsense needs to stop, man. You cannot have this politician just fooling people. And whenever it Roosevelt carry toll bills today, you're gonna fly to Miami or somewhere to get treatment while for people they're gonna amputate their leg. I mean, that has to stop. Good night.
Good night. Okay. But, before we end on that, I want to say to the authorities, I know a lot of them are listening. A lot of the ministers, I know they do listen. Please, Bodier, help the people in Dominica. There is a problem. If anything, the budget is coming up in July, increase spending for health. Get proper specialists, get proper equipment. Too many people, and people cannot afford, and they will go down. They will go down. But please. Yes, boy. We have another couple callers.
Hello, yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Luther Martin.
I'm Mr. Lewis.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to defend the factory. Mr. Lewis, as a law officer, right? I believe you read the Son of this week.
No.
I do not like the sentencing guidelines in Dominica. When a man commits a crime, you taking out so much percentage on the sentencing. And the victim is the one that suffered. A 4-year-old child was brutally abused by, not sexually, brutally abused by her father-in-law. And instead of sentencing the man to 10 years jail, you give him 3 years, and this child life has been destroyed.
Well, Lufa, you're talking to the right person about that. Lufa, you're talking to the right person, former magistrate.
Yeah, well, it depends on, as I said, the guidelines that you have.
Yeah, but I agree with what you're saying. I mean, you hear the kind of hideous crime, I'd call them, and you have people getting time spent. I mean, so many people should be in prison for 25 years. I just find this thing is, well, in Dominican, if you go, murderers on bail all over the place anyhow.
That's a big topic today on the radio, you know.
Yeah, good night.
Yes.
Hey, my brothers and sisters, and the whole nation itself, and I am now speaking to Cutfish. What's happening, Sebastian?
I'm very good.
A lot of Cutfish.
I'm very good.
Okay. Well, my brothers, I heard you all talking about the hospital. I will not criticize the hospital.
We're not criticizing it.
I want to ask myself a question. Why did they change the name from Princess Margaret Hospital to the China Friendship Hospital? That is my main problem out of it. And the management of the hospital needs to reshuffle in itself. That is the problem about the hospital. So no matter what we look for, and we don't look for IPN, we don't look for APN, NIPI, and NAPI, that we'll always have problem because we always want the best and we don't want no ricket. We want a wicket instead. So when we bowl, the wicket can fly out. So we need to change those things in the hospital. Mr. Skerritt, I'm calling on you, please. Rearrange. Think properly. Because the nation do not have money to go to Guadeloupe, to Martinique, to do no surgery, nothing at all. Because you remember what you see on the platform in Newton and everybody was clapping. When whoever falls sick, you can call 6 choppers and they will be flying right away. Mr. Skerritt, have a conversation.
Okay, thank you. But also even that is a problem. What I understand in terms of going to Martinique, because Martinique is owed so much money, some the problem to get to Martinique.
To get there,
it's a problem. They're not accepting people because they're owed so much money. So I mean, is it really something?
Yeah, well,
we have another caller. As I said, they need to fix that. They need to fix that.
Major problem.
It's a serious problem. Good night.
Yes, caller.
Yes, those people don't worry about us. Those people is just building hotels. Dominicans don't have Pyrex to eat food, but it's hotels they're building. You think they worry about wealth in Dominica? They don't worry about wealth, passport money, hotels, but they will not live to enjoy it. Good night.
Okay. That's another way he's talking about.
Well, he deals with that.
In the business, yes.
In the business, that's what he deals with. Yeah, but look, a lot of people saying things that happen in the hospital.
Yeah.
I can even say it on the radio. Because
yeah.
It is, as I say, it is not it's constructive criticism we want there because we could be in the same boat.
Yeah.
Some of us might be able to pay a plane and go and get treatment. A lot mightn't be able to. So some people will perish. So we're saying to the authorities, fix that.
Yeah.
The health system needs to be addressed. Too many people are going down.
Let's see what the budget this year is going to show.
Well, I'm saying, if anything, increase spending in the health.
Yeah.
Let us get specialists. Let us get surgeons. Let us get equipment. That is what we need in Dominica because it is a problem.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Indeed.
So we'll take a break now, was it?
Yeah, indeed, yes. After that, as a big-time salvo.
They spent $59 million in America, Senate building a hospital. And to date, the people do not have a hospital.
Yeah, up to now, yes, it's not being used.
Criminal negligence.
Yeah. About 2 years now, it's been completed.
It's been for years.
For years.
I mean, they've been without hospital.
Yeah.
And
It is.
They built the health center, it's just there.
Yeah.
So my goodness.
Where
are we going in Dominica?
Yeah. Things should be better than that, much better. Anyhow, we're going to take a break. It's 6:38, and you're listening to Sports Wrap, and We're taking a break at 6:38.
Hello. You ever get a compliment like that? Ubel, come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Hello. You ever get a compliment like that? Ubel, come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. I think we're joined by Mr. Emmanuel Loblack out there. So he's with us now.
Lobby, good night.
So
we're not hearing you, Lobby.
We're not hearing him.
Your mic probably off, Lobby. Put on your mic.
You're muted.
Your mic probably muted. Put on your mic. Your mic is muted.
Unmute your
Unmute
mic.
your mic, Lobby.
Right, so we don't have...
and also we need to speak about that,
It's better now? It's better?
Yeah, hearing you, Lobby.
We're hearing you now, yes.
I spoke to the Dominica team went to Carifter. They came back last night. I understood there was a big ceremony last night. I got Mr. White this morning.
What is his position?
I think he's secretary, I think.
All right.
So I told him we need him to come for 15 minutes to let the Dominican people know how should they play over there and everything. Yeah. He started giving me a story about tomorrow night. He has to prepare. I said, no. I didn't want to tell you to go tomorrow night. So tonight we have Sports Wrap. I just wanted to come.
Friday night has no program.
He hasn't showed up. And people not too often people get in the association and maybe don't want to travel and don't want to. They're not accountable. Yeah. And it's a nonsense that goes on. And people in the athletes must take and turn them down at this locally. I spoke to the gentleman. We have students going away. we need him here to tell the Dominican people what obtained in Bahamas and tell us about everything that happened. We can't find him.
Yeah.
If not there, he hasn't
And there's
showed
so
up.
much happening there. Some
Plenty.
controversies.
Plenty
took place
controversy.
there. Oh, yes.
And we can't find him now. Yeah. I mean, this is just not good enough, man. Honestly, it's sick.
Sebastian,
yes, sir.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Well, Sebastian, this time I am shocked to hear that you all haven't got a representative to come to Sports Trap and inform the nation of the youth who went to Bahamas. Dominica obtained a gold medal in the under-17 javelin. All right, and I watched the game live, and I watched the game streamlined, in Bahamas. That was very, very competitive. I believe there are a number of countries, who performed very, very well. St. Kitts came out 4th overall. I was very much impressed with St. Kitts.
But St. Vincent had 31 medals. St. Vincent was
I know. No. Guyana, in terms of gold medal, Guyana came out. Trinidad came out 3rd.
No, I'm talking about overall. St. Vincent had 30-something medals overall. St.
Vincent, yeah.
Yeah, St. Vincent had a medal.
But Grenada didn't do badly either.
They look at gold medals. All right.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about overall medals.
Yeah, but
we have only one medal.
One gold medal
we have.
But my point is, Lobby, you are a track athlete, coach, and done. But when are we going to get a sprinter? We don't see sprinters run in Dominica. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I hear your point.
Yeah, we don't have that. You see the Jamaican that almost every race, the relays, the 400 by 1, the 4 by 4, the 200. They're right up there.
And you believe it like a sprint,
you ask most people, sprint they want to watch in athletics.
Yes.
Most people, that's what they want to watch.
No, Sebastian, you're asking, getting disconnected all the while because of the internet. But let me tell you, this is a recurring decimal. All the islands you see that performing, they have a track. Without a track, there is no way you can make inroad in the sport. We need a track.
Well, don't get track until you get a track. You can protest, because you're not making a fool of ourselves.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Sebastian, I want you to use the word fool of ourselves. You still have to compete because we have gotten a lot of medals in the field events. All right, in the field.
What do you say we have gotten a lot of medals? What do you mean, Lobby?
Well, over the years,
how many medals have we gotten?
Yeah, in the field, over the years, I've gotten a lot of medals, gold, silver, bronze, in the field events, in the throws in particular. Yeah.
You sure that's the right word?
Look, well, I can say so because I've been involved, Sebastian.
Yeah, but how many? When you say a lot, what do you count like? 3, 4, 5, 10?
No, man, much more than that.
You mean in 1 year? In 1 year?
No, I'm talking about over the years of the character game.
Total of years.
Accumulated, yes.
Oh, but what I'm saying, you don't want to have 1 medal this year, 2 next year, 3 years. I mean, every year
listen
going to be going up.
Yeah, let me tell you, I agree with you, but the thing is that, as I said to my Sebastian, we are a very talented country. I have been involved in that sport for years. I've been coaching for years, my life. And I've seen we could have been as big, very big internationally. But for you to harness talent, you have to have the track. You have people to spend on the athlete.
We've lost you.
We lost. Well, we're not hearing you again. We're not hearing. Yeah, but as I said, something has to be done. Also, they need to do better. Yeah. And I say again,
I think I've had 12 gold medals overall.
That's what I'm asking him.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. He
gold.
Sebastian, since 1985, you have been taking part in the character games.
Since 1985, we're in 2020.
How many gold overall?
Medals we have on overall?
I can.
Between 85 and now.
We have
85 and now, yes.
Let me see that. If I was maybe about close about 14 medals.
14. That is in 48
Let me tell you,
years.
Two things you have to understand is this. We're just talking about we want more medals. What are we doing to assist the athletes? Where are we going to train? Where are we going to train?
Philip White should have been here so he could answer that question. If the secretary, if he should have been here. I'm sure he didn't have a problem in going Bahamas, going on the plane. He should have been here to tell that to people. What the question you're asking there now? If the secretary or whatever.
Highlight the problem.
Yes, tell people, let people know the problem.
Well, brother, I have been on sports. I have been on Sports Rap before I left Dominica, and I have articulated the problem we have had. We have been at a disadvantage, first of all. Let me tell you, Sebastian, in terms of myths, before the stadium, before we have this cricket stadium, in my heyday in athletics, we had Roseau, for example. We had the most potent track club, Olympians. We used to organize at least 8 to 9 meets in Roseau, getting sponsorship. We would move to Portsmouth, Marigot, Grand Bay. We would spread it. So the athletes, the only way you can just kind of train. You need a place where you can have meets. You have to beg. They have to beg to get the stadium to have meets. For example, Layo Park is not the best of place to go and run now. Grand Bay right now has been compromised since Maria. We used to get even cricket, say, look, to get the Benjamin's Park, it was a problem. So we had a lot of problems. I mean, I can speak in defense of track and field, but I am just disappointed that not even Mr. White could show his presence, on.
Well, I spoke to him this morning. He confirmed that would be here. He tried to give an excuse. I had to tell him that he's a representative people. He needs to be here to explain to people, and he's not here. And people must talk about those things.
Because
wrong.
Look, Sebastian. Let me just tell you all something. We had in the stadium by the no-name stand. There's a stand there with any name at the back there. We had a throwing circle for discus, for shot put. Do you know that they have installed a generator where the shot put land in? In the grammar school ground, we had a sand pit there, and a sand pit and a sand for long jump, triple jump. There's no more in places. They have dug it up. They said they're going to do some construct inside there. We have been serious problem.
Yeah, well, as I said, the authorities, they said they're going to
that has been highlighted for time immemorial, for years. No facilities, no be.
But also, you look at the Jamaicans. Obviously, not by accident, it's happening. The government puts in a lot of money into that. So you see the results. Look at the results.
Look,
indeed.
Let us leave out Jamaica. Look at Saint Lucia, for example, Saint Lucia.
No, you can't listen. No, I don't agree with you there now. The best, you always have to talk about the best. Or they always say he liked the best. You can't say let us leave out Jamaica.
No, hear me. No. Why say so? Look at what the other islands with the track, what they have done. They're able to produce athletes to be competitive at the character games. With Guyana, for example, 3 years now, they have it.
We lost him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as I say, we have also we're struggling, and again, you have this big ceremony. The minister was even there.
Big speech made.
That's the one. Sebastian.
Hold on, Lobby. Big speech, and I will say again. Okay, a guy wins a gold medal. A youngster scores the most runs in a tournament with six territories.
Yes.
Isn't that on the same level?
Comparable.
Yes,
comparable.
I mean, here is a youngster who scores the most runs in a West Indies tournament, under 15 tournament.
Yes.
People don't even know that happened. You didn't hear it on the radio. And you have a big thing last night. 1 medal, a guy scores the most runs, and nobody is there to meet him. He's probably coming from America. People don't even know he came in.
You're quite right.
Yeah, the most run, number 1, the leading run scorer in the West Indies under 15 tournament finished yesterday.
Well, look at now they know. Thanks to you.
Know, a senior Fontaine from the Carib territory. Big up to the people from Carib territory.
Yes.
Appreciate your youngster up there. Well, I do have a problem with this Kalinago thing. It's not a shame. When we grew up, all we heard about was Carib and Arawak. Now, this thing about Kalinago, I'm not a fan of that. It's not a shame to be called a Carib. And I hear people talking about Kalinago.
What about calling the men batters? You like it?
No, at all.
I cannot put my mind around that at all.
Batters.
You call Vivriches a batter?
It sounds rough.
You've been wrong there. You're batting the ball.
Sebastian, we are from White to Kubuli. No more Dominica. You're from White to Kubuli.
I'll say again, I'm not I'll say the Carib territory. The young man is from the Carib, senior Fontaine. He made his mark in Antigua, the West Indies under 15 tournament. He was the leading scorer.
With the right-handed batsman?
Yes, youngster. So we heard about a big thing last night. and the youngster comes from Antigua, leading run scorer, nobody knows.
But even
Nobody knows.
Atenas scoring 640 odd runs
Yeah, exactly.
in a big West Indies
tournament.
tournament. You're hearing too much
In fact,
about
look,
it.
he's been appointed captain of one of the teams.
Right, Wicks Headley match.
Well, we'll have him on in a while.
Yeah,
So
I find Atenas is getting that recognition.
Well, that's why we're bringing him on. And Ozzy, the test match in Dominica, 12th of June,
It's
July.
For Dominica.
Right on that day.
12th of July.
Well, it's not official, but the only thing is a Wednesday, and you know how things are.
Yeah.
It might last the weekend. Test matches nowadays.
Yes,
so the 12th of June, not June, July, sorry, is a Wednesday. So the first test against India, that's supposed to be the date, July 12th
test match
in Dominica. Wednesday starts, but no, we don't know if we'll finish, if it will go until Saturday and Sunday.
Unless it's rain a couple of days or rain.
Sebastian,
yes?
I want to say something there. You know, just to echo what you've been saying. I'm a bit surprised to hear about this big function for a goal. It's not the first time, as if it's the first time we have gotten,
big for one.
You know, what should be happening right now is the way forward. There should be a heavy voice for a track in Dominica. There should be a heavy voice.
Well, again, Philip White should have been here to do that, to echo that.
Yeah.
He should have been here. Yeah, I think, what is he, the secretary or treasurer, Lobby?
The secretary.
Right, so he should, and secretary is a powerful, any organization, you know, a powerful position.
Well, he was head of the mission that went to.
Well, I think the president was there as well.
The president was there.
Yeah, as well. So, but you know, sometimes they always have more officials than
more officials. Most times.
But again, I will say, what about the direction in Dublin? You have a minister was up there last night. I wonder if the minister knows Fontaine was playing cricket in Antigua.
Exactly.
I wonder if he knows.
Very good point.
If he was representing the Windwards.
Yes.
If he made a century against the Leeward Islands, 130. If he scored the most in the tournament.
He would not have known
I wonder
that.
if people know those things.
Yes.
Yeah, so it look like let's take this call. When they want to
make a splash.
Yeah, they make a big fat and big news.
Yeah.
Good night. Yeah, the youngster did well.
Yeah.
So at least he should be in the same, because to me, a gold medal in a character game, mostly in the West Indies tournament, which is bigger?
Yeah.
I want somebody to tell me which one is bigger. So it's that foolishness that's going on in the place. Foolishness.
For throwing the javelin, right? That's the gold medal.
Yeah, throwing the javelin. I would say we have to give the guy full marks for doing that. The Marigot young man, full marks for winning the gold medal.
Sibo, that is the FIFA the sixth gold medal we have won over the years in the javelin throw. The first person to win a gold medal in the javelin was Lisa Kazimi. All right, so we have had in the female in the male. It's rather unfortunate we have made inroads how we would like to, gentlemen, in the field events. In the track events. It's rather unfortunate, Sebastian. Seriously, sad.
Yeah, well, as I said, they need to do better than that.
But obviously, there should be somebody should be there with you right now.
The person is not there, honestly.
But you have, look me, you have a vice president, you have a PRO.
Who is the vice president of the athletics?
I can remember now. I can remember. All right, but you have a vice president.
Coming for White, he has been always coming before.
I don't know what's the problem. I don't know. As I say, I spoke to him this morning. Consented to come in there.
Change of
so what is it about Brendan, who's the president?
Hold on, we have a caller. Good night.
Thibaut, he's the only guy that's got century.
I know that. A senior, yes. A senior
Fontaine. He's the only guy that's got century.
Yeah.
A senior.
That's his name.
How you spell that name?
EARSIN.
EARSIN.
Yeah, senior. Yeah, that's how it's spelled. You have another caller? Yeah. Yeah, so also we'll take a break now and then we'll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sports Wrap, your dynamic, riveting weekly. Sports Wrap, your dynamic, riveting weekly sports show on Q95.
Hello, you ever get a compliment like that? Belle come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. It's now 7 o'clock exactly, so we have exactly 1 hour left. And
okay, well, also we have with us Liam, the manager of the Windward's team that just finished the 4-day championship, and we have Ali Kafanas on the line. Ali, good night. You there?
Yeah, good night. I'm here.
Right. So with Ozzy is there. Liam, your manager, is right in the studio, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good night. First, let me say congratulations to you on being appointed captain of one of the teams for the Headley Wicks Trophy, which starts next week. Congratulations for that. And congratulations also for being the leading run scorer in the West Indies 4-day championship.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Liam, you must take credit to you. You're the manager.
Yes.
You're the manager. Okay, Alex, the first question. Windwards lost the championship by a few points. On reflection, the first game against Trinidad, had we gotten 12 points there, we would have won the championship. Overnight, Windwards had a lead of 325 on the third day, continued batting on the last day, and didn't win the game. What was the discussion about overnight when you all continued batting? Why did you all continue batting?
Well, to be honest, it was a good total, good competitive total, but we still felt that the wicket was a bit flat, even if our bowlers, yes, we were used to the conditions, and yes, we had confidence that we could bowl them out, but we just wanted to be in a position that we couldn't lose the game.
So, what was it at the end of the day's play? What was the position of the match then? How close were you to winning the match outright?
I didn't get it.
At the end of the day, how close were you to winning the match outright? So, had you declared half an hour earlier or something? You had a little more time then. How close you came to winning the match outright? Was it? Yeah, go ahead.
It was really close. It was really close to us to win the match, obviously. But like as a team, we were trying to tick off certain boxes because we building a league, and we don't want to just jump in and think that we could come from losing to winning. So we were trying to tick off certain boxes to make sure that we get ourselves in a position where we could take positives from the game.
So when you look back at the overall tournament, do you still believe that was the correct decision at the time? If you had to play again the entire match, would you do it again?
I would say I was satisfied with the game. I mean, clearly there were decisions that we could have made that could have allowed us to win the match, but I am satisfied with the game and the entire tournament. Like I told the manager in some of the interviews, had it not been for that game, we wouldn't have learned how to deal with certain situations. So, I mean, I am thankful for the way the game went. It allowed us to reflect and learn and be a little bit more proactive.
Well, Liam, good night. You're here.
You add your piece to the whole.
To that point there.
Point, was there sufficient match awareness at the time on the last day for you all to press home for full points?
No, hold on, Alec. Liam is going to.
We have the manager here, Liam. We need to find out his own view of it. As a former captain, player for many, many years for the Windwards, you could have your own particular thought on the matter.
Well, yeah. Good night to all your listeners. Alec gave, the reason, some of the reasons that the team didn't declare. We had a discussion at the time, but at the end of the day, it was a team decision that was made, and I think these decisions are only in hindsight. If we won the championship, I don't think we would have brought back up that game, but it happened that way, and I think, as Alec just said, it's a learning experience. Coming from where we were the season before, where games were finishing in 2 days, to now even vying for championship, I think maybe we have to take those positives from it.
Maybe as it was your first match of the tournament, you probably were a little extra cautious, don't you think so? Being the first match of the tournament, you don't want any chance of losing, therefore you're going to play very safe. Was that the thinking of the team?
Well, it was the first game, and as Alex said, the wicket was very flat for the two games. It's not a wicket that you could go out and just blast out anybody. So even heading into the final day, while some of us felt that 325 was sufficient, it wasn't a situation where you could just go out and blast somebody. And even the bowlers who had to go out and do the job, they needed some extra time in terms of getting themselves ready, because they put in a very good shift in the first innings. And, in terms of recovery and all of that. So some of them were looking at it from a cautious approach, that we shouldn't just be ahead of ourselves and just go and declare. And at the end of the day, we're looking to save a game, where we should have been in front. So as I just said, it's hindsight. There's nothing that we can do about it. And it's easy for us to say that game or the other game because of what happened in the final game, where Guyana won the championship after beating the Leeward Islands.
Okay, Alec, this was the first time you were captain in the Windwards. Some people felt that you should have been burdened with that. I was not of that opinion. I felt that there was nothing wrong in handing you the captaincy this year because you have the talent. I think you know cricket. You're a confident young man. How was it captaining the team for the first time?
It was better than I expected, to be honest. Having the manager there, him being the former captain, right before traveling, it was. I wouldn't say it was easy. It just made the job a bit clearer. Having a lot of discussions with him, but it was really good. I got the team in a time where a lot of men, were informed. A lot of men knew the task and knew their game a little bit better than the previous year. So, but it was really good. It was just good sharing that positive vibe, my positive energy and my style of play, to the team.
Yes, we all came very close to winning the championship outright. And something happened. You have to depend on Guyana, I think it was. Guyana. Yes. Guyana, I think.
Would not Guyana, the Leeward Islands.
The Leeward Islands had to win the match, which appeared to have been in the bag. And they had a capitulation. They just seemed to have lost.
They folded
9 wickets for about 40, 50 runs.
Yes, yeah.
You found that shocking that day, or the pitch just turned bad? What you felt accounted for that collapse of Guyana on that day?
Well,
the
manager right here.
Oh yes.
He could tell you.
Both of you.
We were playing the game, and I think it happened on a day, April Fool's, right? And And he was actually telling us that we live on island boulders and so on. I wasn't angry, but I was telling him, you don't keep the information to yourself. Don't stop passing information out to the field. Just focus on the task at hand. But I mean, we were in a position that we were going to win the game, so any information that came onto the field wouldn't really affect us. But I thought, to be honest, it was just an April Fool's joke, and they got everybody to play on it. But
well, Alec, let me tell you, I'll tell you exactly. The Saturday morning, I tuned in after 10 because I could follow both matches. So I started watching Guyana, and after about 20 minutes, I said, okay, well, let me go across to the Windwards because Guyana are going to lose so that Windwards can win the tournament. Yeah. So then when I tuned back, I'm seeing the commentator say he comes into ball to Cornwall. So when I hit Cornwall, so I thought it, as you said, it was an April Fool's joke, and the commentator playing the pool. So then when I saw the score,
you really thought so?
Honest to God, because I couldn't believe that. Because remember, they were 81 for 1. Corwin was batting overnight with
and seemingly no trouble.
No trouble. Corwin was in 47 now.
Yeah.
So for about a few minutes, I tuned across. So then I messaged Liam, Alec, your manager. I said, boy, it looked like Lee was selling out. So then I came across the Windwards, and then wickets are falling down. So I'm happy Windwards going to win.
Still win. Yeah.
When I went back across, I saw the fella jumping.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, but he said about it angry. I was angry, man. I said there should be an investigation. Yeah. In fact, I'll tell you what, I won't call him, a senior person to the West Indies board, and I told them they should have an inquiry into that. Yeah. And I can read what the person said. The person said, Sibo, I want to apologize to the people in the Windward Island for what happened. And that was a scandal, honestly. Yeah. In fact, Clyde Butts, the commentator at the time, was saying there was no devil in the pitch. Nothing.
Was there any devil in the pitch?
I mean, that was shocking, man. Honestly.
I went back to look at the game and look at the wickets, and
no change in the wicket.
There was no intent. There was no positivity in the camp at all. They didn't look like they had a plan, to be honest. And I mean, it happened already, but. The feeling at the time was.
Liam, you want to comment on that situation, man?
I think, Alec just said that when the information came out, I remember when I tuned into the game, it was 121 for 8, and I was really upset.
121 for 8 after being 80 for 1.
So when I saw it, I was like, I couldn't believe it. So I refreshed the page. I went on my phone as well. And then I didn't say the assistant coach was there, and I was like, well, Guyana lost the game, even if the game was still going on, because the way I saw it was going, I was like, okay, that is already a formality. But then the field umpire would have given the information to the players, to the umpires on the field, and then some of them were like, well, okay, because it is April Fools, they're going to be looking at the dressing room to see if maybe I'm celebrating when wickets fall or not. So then I think one of them came off the field, and they were like, manager, is that true? I said, well, yes. And they were like, well, they were still looking at me to see if I was going to be celebrating. Then I think one of them asked the commentators on the other end of the ground. And then the commentator said that they didn't have that information yet. So they were thinking that it was really an April Fool's joke. And then I remember Sunil came out and he was like, well, if we get the last wicket and the manager doesn't celebrate, then it means that it is official that Guyana would have won. And when the wickets were falling, yes, we were happy that we won the game, but still thinking what could have happened. I mean, we would have organized stuff for us to celebrate the championship, because, I mean, honestly, we didn't see Lee was losing that game from the position that they were in. And then it was, even Alec would have said, a bittersweet moment at the end. But we took a lot of positives from it, in that the season we were undefeated, and where we came from to the sort of cricket that we were playing as a group, in terms of there's a lot more respect that they would have to give to Windward Islands teams coming up in future competitions.
So you're very satisfied with the outcome of the Windward's position for the tournament? Yeah,
obviously satisfied, because as we could have been the champions for a number of reasons, not only that game, but other situations where we would have lost points. But as I said, coming from where we were last season, where a few of the games would have finished on the second day, and we had 2 days of basically just trying to figure out what went wrong, now teams really having to fear us in that sense, because the brand of cricket that we were playing in every single game, and the great thing about that was that season was very, very hard for us, because we had so many injuries that we had to overcome, and sick illnesses and so on. Even Alec himself in the I think it was the fourth game, he had a toe injury and he was struggling. I mean, but a lot of those things people don't know from the outside, and we were just trying to manage it on the inside. And it was a good season considering all the factors. I mean, we would have liked to win, yes, but we satisfied with the position that we came, knowing that we were actually vying for the championship coming on to the last day of the tournament.
A question to both of you all. Midway in the tournament, the coach was fired. So you coach was appointed after the second game. Both of you all can answer. Tell us how it is, how it was, or how it has been to have a new coach with the players. Both of you all can answer.
Are you want to go ahead?
Coach was fired.
They fired the new coach. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't really new, to be honest, because he was in the camp while we were preparing for the 40. So it was really.
No, say that again. Say that again, Alec. He was. Huh? What do you say? He was in the camp preparing for. Yes, how he found himself there?
I have no idea. You'll have to ask.
He was the official assistant coach for the season.
Oh, he was the official assistant coach.
Yeah.
So where was John Eugene then?
He was an assistant coach as well, but he was the assistant coach.
Okay, go on, Ali. Go on.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I was saying, it wasn't such a hard transition for some players. I mean, yeah, we are all humans, and some people took it differently to others. But for I mean, we are professionals, and we decided that we have a job at task at hand, and we wanted to play a different brand of cricket, and we wanted this season to actually be the rise of Volcano. So we didn't really let it affect us. We just decided that we want to play a different brand of cricket, and that's what we wanted to do. So we didn't really let it affect us, to be honest.
Okay, well, that's good, because I say it was a new coach and it could have been a problem. But if you say he was the assistant, because to be honest, I never heard of him.
Yeah, he was the assistant coach. He was the official assistant coach from match number 1. So when the change was made after round 2, there was a break, and Alec was with the West Indies team in South Africa. And Alec came in the
night before?
The 2 days before. So when he came in, I remember when we picked him up from the airport. That was one of the...
Exactly, who's that?
Sorry?
Who he picked him up from the airport?
Alec.
No, he said Alec was in South Africa. So when he went to pick him up.
Yeah.
He went straight to Grenada from South Africa.
And I mean, a lot of credit has to be given to Alec for that. I remember he would have spoken to me about, the flight back from South Africa, and then, he took the decision that, he's coming to play, and he may need some time to recover in terms of rest. Originally, he was scheduled to arrive at 1 a.m. on the morning of the match, but then it so happened that he got some extra time. So, he would have missed training. And then, as I said, when we picked him up, and I told him that was one of the worries that I had from the camp that we had. You could still see everybody wasn't on board in terms of, being fully ready, because, a change was made and not everybody maybe was in favor of it. But when we were going back to the hotel from the airport, he said, don't worry about that. That, once we get there, everybody will understand that this is what we're trying to do, and then things will be fine. And credit must go to him and the group, because that wasn't something that really affected or was really surrounding everybody.
Yes.
Everybody understood what they had to do, and the performances of the team this year was very, very good when you look back at the statistics. We have 5 players on the Wicks and Headley series. That goes to show the performance level of the guys, and Alec himself, being named as one of the captains. I mean, it's not a surprise, because even before it was announced, I told him that don't be surprised if that's happening to him. And again, for the adversities that we would have been through, I think you really have to put feather in the cap of the guys, to be honest.
Alec, before you were just moving away from Windward a while, when you remember we spoke to you, when you go to South Africa, I remember mentioning to you that you should stay close to Brian Lara. The last president of the board, Mr. Ricky Skerritt, spoke to him. He told me, first time he rarely saw West Indies play away from home. He was there for the second test, right? Ricky Skerritt, did you see it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So he told me he was very impressed to see how close you and Brian Lara got. Tell the public about that.
Well, I think it happened when we had a session in the net where, like an optional session, and I went to training because obviously I'm not playing, so it's not optional for me. And I went to train, and he was there and he was batting because he never really saw me bat before. And I was batting, and I was a bit, I wouldn't say fed up, but I was a bit fed up that I wasn't getting much batting time, because of the test and all of the players that. So I just decided that I would, take on the bowling and go after the bowling, and I was really aggressive. And, he sat down, he came behind the net, and he sat down and he watched me bat after. He pulled me out of the net and he told me, he's like, he asked me my name, and he knew my name. He just wanted to know if, and we had a little chat, and then based on what we spoke about, he told me that he never really saw a player that reminded him so much of himself while playing against spin, just by the way I approach my when I bat spin. And we had a couple chats after, and he told me that stay close to him because he wants when I get onto the team that I don't make the team of people's failures and I make the team of my own success. And we just decided to have a lot more chats, and we used to go to breakfast, have some dinners, have a lot of chats together. And most of the times I was batting, he would find himself behind the net. Just helping me to get in the head of spinners, like always trying to be a step ahead. And trust me, I told Clement, that man is a true genius when it comes to batting. Because I was batting in the net, and these spinners were bowling, West Indies spinners, they were bowling, and he was basically telling me what to do. If it's to go back, if it's to go forward and stuff. He just tell me trust him, and every single thing the man tell me to do, that is exactly what happened. I see, well, I just after a while, I just decided I would bat spin and I would approach spin the way he approached spin, and that is why I really scored all my runs so quickly in the 4 days, because I was always at the spinners.
Have you spoken to him since you left South Africa?
Yeah, but before and after every game, he would contact me, and he would make sure that my mind is clear, everything is fresh going into the game. After the game, especially when I got those big half centuries, he was really disappointed because he doesn't believe in big half centuries. As long as he believes as long as he gets 50 runs, 100 is guaranteed. So I mean, yeah, it was good for me too, sharing that kind of information with the team, because that really helped our batting a lot.
Okay, Liam, the season is over now. What is happening now with the contracted players on the Windward team?
Well, the players who are not involved in the VPL and are not injured, they are at the franchise base in Grenada. But the others who have to play in the other leagues will move off to participate in the the NHL T10, the St. Lucia Premier League, I think that's what it's called. And Alec has to go off to Antigua with the other guys. So there will be a lot of ins and outs in the next couple of months. The contract period ends in June. So they are training, but they won't be at full capacity maybe for the rest of the contract period due to other engagements that the guys have. So Alec himself is there, but soon he's scheduled to go off. He, as well as the 4 other guys who were selected for the Headley Week series. And then you have guys recuperating from injuries. Some of the guys playing in the VPL presently, and then the Grenada Speyside T10 is coming up. So they will be engaging cricket, but not at full capacity maybe for the rest of the contract period.
Okay, well, Alec, as we wind up, let me say to you, you're going to Antigua next week. All I'll say to you, just keep doing what you're doing. It's called runs.
Headley Wicks Trophy.
Yeah, the Headley Wicks Trophy. They have 2 4-day matches in Antigua.
Okay.
Keep scoring runs because there's a big date in July in Dominica. All Dominica will be rooting for you for that date. Yeah, I know. There's a big date in July. July the 12th is a big day. Mark that down in your room. Everywhere you go, put that day, July the 12th. And I'll say to you, just keep scoring runs, my brother. Keep making runs. That's all you have to figure about. Runs. And let other people do what they have to do. You do your job. Your job is to score runs. Keep doing it. And then let other people do what they have to do.
So,
okay.
Alec, let's say from your personal point of view, how do you feel that you're just one step away from a West Indies team? How do you really feel your own self? How do you feel your achievement?
It really hasn't sunk in, to be honest. It really hasn't sunk in. Playing for West Indies has always been my dream as a young boy, but to be honest, it really hasn't sunk in. I'm more concerned.
It hasn't sunk in yet, is it?
It hasn't. So I'm more concerned about like putting in the hard work. To be honest, I am on West Indies right now, but I am more concerned about starting well and remaining on the West Indies team. So it's just, right about now, I try my best to work as hard as I can.
Okay.
Well, boy, Alec, we wish you all the best because, I mean, you're going to make it, man. You're beginning to make it. Just have to continue. And the sky's the limit for you. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alec, somebody just sent a note there. Said, tell Alec, the owners of Ma Bass Guest House, where he stayed, the way he had to play matches in Rosso, wish him well. You remember that?
I didn't get that.
Okay.
I didn't get that.
A note, I don't call the person name, said, tell Alec, the owners of Ma Bass Guest House, where he stayed when he had to play matches in Rosso, wish him well. The person that said that. So you know what I'm talking about, all right? Okay. Okay, Liam, you want to close up? Alec, so all the best, eh? Just take care. Just keep doing what you have to do, okay? And have a good night, man.
You.
All right, Liam.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to say. I mean, Alec is also very happy for him. He's somebody that knows from even, last season when I started off. I call him the assistant manager because we are that close, and even some stuff that I have to do if I have to go to the bank, I just call Alec and say, Chief, I'm picking you up, let's go, and he'd always be there to assist. So I'm really, really happy for him to the level that he has, and not only personally. I think the graduation that the team has made, a lot has to do with what Alec has brought to the table, and in terms of when the decision was made to appoint him as captain, there was a lot of outside noise that Alex shouldn't be the captain and let him focus on his batting. And I remember we were having a chat, and when I spoke to him before it was communicated, that basically he was up for the job. He was like, I know I'm the person for that job. And that was so pleasing to hear when he said that. So that made the decision so much easier. And then, look at the transformation that it has in terms of the way that he has played and the way that he's played from a leadership point of view. And that's not only for the winners, but, the teams that he has led, the way that he has played from the front, I think it is giving him that much more responsibility to be a better person and a better player. So, I really want to just wish him all the best again. We keep in touch a lot, and that will continue, obviously. He's a local boy as well. So, I wish the best for him, and hopefully that that transition that we are making is maybe not just a one-off, that the team can grow from strength to strength into future competitions.
Yeah, okay, thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you, Alec.
Okay,
thank you.
Liam, but you yourself, you left very early, man. I thought you had 2 or 3 more years in cricket.
No.
You left prematurely, man.
No, that we leave that for another time. Let's leave that where it is.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Lobby, you didn't have anything to say, but you want to play him?
What are the 4 players on the Winwood team that were chosen?
5. You have Kevin Hodge, Sonny Lambres, Alec Afanaz, Tevin Walcott, a Bajan, and what's his name? The other one, Justin Graves. These are the 5. The 2 Bajans and Ambrose, Afanaz, and Kevin Hodge. So they will be in the Headley Wicks Trophy starting next Wednesday in Antigua.
But what has happened to Ambrose?
Well, I just called his name. I just said he'll be there.
But again, to be more prolific.
Well, he made runs. That's why he's there. He made runs. That's why he's been selected.
They should be on. Yes, but I mean, he has been out of the West Indies team.
Right, he's been out of the team.
He's been there for a while. He's been out for a while. Yeah.
But, I could recall this game. He got hit. I'm hoping that at least he can play fast bowling now.
That was in New Zealand when he got hit. There's a caller. Yeah. Hold on, Lobby. There's a caller. Good night.
Yes, good night, Sibo.
Hey. Good night.
Yes, this is Dion George. I just want to give my congratulations to Ali. First of all, for being the captain of the Windward, and secondly, for he topping the score in the Caribbean, and for making Dominica proud. I think Granby people should be very proud of him, and Dominica as a whole. Also, I want to give respect to the manager. I never know Liam was the manager, but I think Liam did a very good job. In fact, I can point out some things that he did which was not there before, including after every day, we have something which is called the lava man, something to that sort. Yes, and he points out the best player of the day, and he gives them kudos for what they have done. And I believe Dominica should be very proud of this young chap from Granby. What I like about him too, I find he humble. You have some questions there, and he's still saying, well, you know, he just taking his time and so forth. I think Ali will go very far. And I think Granby people should be very proud. Dominica should be proud. And Liam as well should be very proud, because there was a time that Windward Island, although we had very good batsmen like yourself and Irvin Shillingford and others, but we were not winning. But this year, I think for the first time, you can correct me, I think Windward was unbeaten. We did not win, but we were unbeaten. And I just think to myself, kudos to the management team, including Liam, and kudos to the captain, which is Alec. And I'm very proud of my Dominican people. Thank you for
man.
that program.
Thank you.
All right, good, man.
Thank you.
Bastian.
Yes, sir.
Yes. One of the things that I've always, spoken about in Dominica. You look at Flo, you look at Digicel, you look at their billboard. But I hardly see a sportsman. I don't know, subject to correction. Have you ever seen that?
No, well, this is a perfect opportunity now for one of them to grab Ali Kafanaz and have him now up front for them, or both of them. Well, both of them can't do it because they are competitors. But one of them, either Flo or Digicel, use Ali Kafanaz as the main man up front. That is the perfect opportunity now, Lobby.
No, I'm telling you, I always find it funny, Sebastian, that I had the billboard of Flo Digicel. And I said, but the sports, what happened? Are they anti-sports people? Are they anti? I've always going back on Afanaz. I listen carefully to the young man. He has no level of arrogance in him, and he's very focused. And I've realized that when you can conquer spin, you listen to Lara a lot, and you realize spin. When I hear a young man can talk about batting spin, I say yes, he'll go far.
Yeah. Well, Lara, as he said Lara's a genius. I mean, we have to accept that. I mean, Brian Lara was a genius.
But Adrian himself, just 2 or 3 years ago, was dropped when they were not steaming.
He lost his contract.
He lost his
contract. That's what you have to admire what he has done.
He lost his contract. He was
lost
out,
his contract, but we couldn't make him
kicked out,
which was an error.
Right.
What they did was wrong. I'll say it again. It was a nonsense they did.
I got to lose sight of that fact.
The Windwards haven't got the players to have dropped somebody like him.
It was very promising.
Was nonsense they did.
Yeah.
And
Sebastian, one question.
Credit to him for working hard to get back his contract.
In the circumstances.
Yes, Black.
He lost his contract.
What was the reason for dropping the coach now, really? What was the main reason of dropping the coach?
The board felt that they were not getting results. That's the reason Shallow gave. Kishore Shallow. Hence the reason why they changed the coach. That's what he said.
But
okay,
thank you. That's good.
We have Gerald George. We're going to talk a little football.
Right.
What happened last weekend. So Gerald George is right there to tell us what happened. Good night, sir.
Good night to everybody.
Oh, okay, good night. Good evening. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
right, George.
so-
You're up to date on what's happening, has been happening in football, of course.
Yes, as you all know, our Premier League is on. We almost to the end of the first round of the Premier League, and the action has really been intensifying, and so on. So the teams who started slowly are picking up and moving upward the points table. So last weekend we had a number of matches. We had on Saturday 3 matches. We had Connect 767 East Central. They played against Promex Harlem United. Harlem defeated them 6-2. So after Harlem lost their first 2 opening encounters, they won 4 straight games on a trot. And they defeated Connect 767 East Central 6-2. That game took place at the Dubla playing field. Also on Saturday, we had Tranquility Beach Midland United taking on Petro Caribe Point Michelle. Midland defeated Point Michelle 4-0. So the struggle continues for the Petro Caribe Point Michelle. Also on Saturday, we had the Valvoline United taking on the Bombers from Portsmouth. Bombers won that game 2-0. We United as well, after winning their first game and drawing their second. They've been down on the losing trend. Bombers winning their first game last weekend. So on Sunday, we had 2 games. The defending champions, Surgical Southeast, they bounced back from last weekend. They took on at the time, the league leaders, the Central Cooperative Credit Union, Dubla, at Dubla in front of a massive crowd. I've never seen a crowd like this in Dubla at the playing field. As a matter of fact, the police had to cut off the road coming into the playing field, into the village. At both ends, they had to put railings at both ends so that vehicles could not drive into. And when I was entering Dubla, I saw a lot of vehicles on the highway. I said to myself, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I was surprised when I entered. I see the amount of people that came for that big game, the defending champion Surgical Southeast versus the mighty Dubla, who at the time were at the top of the points table. And Surgical Southeast came down with all their crowd from no grand for had maybe one person in, and it really was a beautiful
Massive
game.
crowd.
And the champions defeated Dubla 3-0. So after Dubla won their first 3 games, the engine of the Dubla team, who is Brian Thomas, who is now the national captain, he went back to Trinidad to play football. So since then, Dubla drew their game immediately after he left, and they lost that other game. So which means that they're beginning to miss Brian Thomas really bad. Brian Thomas has been playing for W Connection in Trinidad in the Pro League in Trinidad. So he went back to Trinidad to the club to organize and to see. I'm not too sure. The next month should be the transfer, so we're waiting to see what happens. But he had to go back and do some business on football. So Dubla has been struggling a little since Brian left. And the other game on the weekend, we had the Blue Waters Baffert State, who has been doing pretty well. They defeated LA Stars 2-0, and that victory put Baffert State at the top of the points table after last weekend's game. So Baffert State leading the table with 13 points, and so on, and followed by Harlem with 12 points. And then we have Midland on 11 points. So these are the 3 top teams, and we have the defending champion Southeast in 4th place on 10 points, and so on. So it's very interesting. There are some teams who started strongly, and there are teams who started poorly, and then the teams who started poorly, they are picking up, and they are on the top of the points table now. The top 3 teams actually did not start off too well. Okay, so this weekend we have a full slate of matches again, 5 matches, beginning from tomorrow, Friday. We have The league leaders, Blue Waters Bafeste, taking on Petro Caribbean Point Michelle at Dubla at 6:30 p.m. On Saturday, we have two matches. Connect 767 East Central will take on LA Stars at the Dubla playing field. And Valvoline United will take on Tranquility Beach at the Benjamin Park. The game at Dubla will start at 4 o'clock, and the one at Portsmouth will have to push it back for maybe around 5 or 5:30 because there is Premier Division cricket also at the Benjamin Park, starting at 1:30 on Saturday. On Sunday, Surgical Southeast, the defending champions, will clash with Promex Harlem United at the Dubla playing field. That should be an interesting encounter at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and then Central Cooperative Credit Union Dubla will take on Bombers at the Benjamin Park on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the action set up for this week. Also, our under 20 girls, they departed for the Dominican Republic to participate in the CONCACAF under 20 women qualifiers. A squad of 20 players and officials, I think around 6 or 7 officials departed our shores, and they are presently in the Dominican Republic. I can go quickly over the list for you. Kenisha John Louis Star Humphreys, who is the captain, Royal Fontaine, Ilana St. Rose, Lightlin Julian, Rosalinda Paul, Annick Francis, Kiana Phillip, Leanne Laura, Jody Christmas, Claire Prince, Kezzy Vigilant, Maris Joseph, Anissa Laura, Alexis Cathy, Dalva Samuel, Chanel Francis, Zaya Langford, Davina Victor, and Kaylee Christmas. That's the 20-member squad. The coaching staff will be Rosilia Regis as the head coach, and she'll have Mickey Thomas as the assistant coach. And we have Regina Walsh as manager, David Williams, goalkeeper coach, Delroy Watt, fitness trainer, Leanne Clark, the medics personnel. Louisiane Wilkins is the team doctor. And of course, we are placed in Group C with the host country, Dominican Republic, Guyana, and Suriname. Originally, it was supposed to be 5 in that group, so Grenada has bowed out of the competition, so we are left with 4 teams. And then Dominica will take on the host country on Saturday at 6 p.m. in their first match, and then on the second match will be played on the 17th against Guyana at 3 p.m. and the final match against Suriname on April 19th at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the action we have for the football. Mm-hmm. So that's how it goes.
Question, Sebastian.
Yeah, go on.
All right, Lovey, go ahead.
Now, what is the Stockton field available still for football? You're still playing football there?
Well, let him answer. I can answer. Let him answer.
Stockton is still under construction. As you know, we are in the process of laying down the artificial turf.
Okay.
So it's still a construction site as we speak.
All right. Because when I hear Harlem playing Southeast in Dubla, that was just my concern, you know.
Yes, from the beginning of the season, we've been at Dubla and
Benjamin Park,
because the project started at Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you very much
Talk
for
to you
your
next week.
comprehensive report, as usual. Thank you very much.
All right, cool.
All right, good.
Sebastian, the EPL league getting very twisting.
Yeah, in England, man, it's getting tight, Ozzy.
EPL, yes.
Last week got a big match, Arsenal and Liverpool, eh?
Right,
well, Liverpool look like now Chelsea, your team also look like.
Yeah, not doing well at all.
They're closer to the relegation battle.
Chelsea.
Yes.
How about Liverpool now?
Liverpool, way dog as well.
Frank Lampard is with Chelsea.
He's acting until interim coach.
Yes.
Well, Arsenal are leading by 6 points, but they still have to play Manchester City, eh?
Yeah.
And the way I saw Manchester City play this week against Bayern, it's going to be difficult to beat this band. Arsenal normally sometimes toward the end of the season they crumble sometimes.
So Arsenal is in the forefront.
They're leading by 6 points, but City have a game in hand. Arsenal still have to play Manchester City.
Yeah. Old Man United.
United are in fourth place. They're tied on points with Newcastle.
Right.
Newcastle, they have same amount of points. So the top 4 look like it could be. I don't know which way. It looked like a 2-horse race, Arsenal and Manchester City.
Chelsea's in double figures.
Chelsea's closer to relegation, I told you.
We won relegated.
I didn't say they will be. I
That
said,
was very poor.
Closer to. I didn't say they will be. I said closer to.
In the lower half at least.
Yes.
Lower half.
Yeah, closer to.
Yeah. The great Chelsea, yes, Louis.
No, but Sebastian, I mean, look at that. Both Chelsea and Liverpool were two top teams. They were the top four. Then suddenly find this, then they have disappeared.
And the same players that are there, the same players, basically the same players.
But I think with Chelsea, we made some bad subs, some bad selling. Their players we let go. Their new players are wrong. Seriously, I'm just not satisfied at all. I'm not satisfied at all. The way the team is playing. So I'm not surprised where we are. And bringing back Lampard there again, that to me is just a problem.
Yeah. Okay, it is though 7:43.
Yeah, we're closer to closing down for the night. Yeah. Well, that international, I see. Obviously, I didn't talk about IPL. You saw the game last week when they got hit 5 sixes.
Yeah, 5 sixes.
No, but that was poor bowling as well.
Yeah, 5 sixes, consecutive sixes
to win a game. That was unbelievable.
Last over. Highest number of runs ever.
29. The guys got 5 sixes.
Guys got 5-30, 30-31 in the last over. Imagine that.
Even the game Kohli and them played, where they lost in the last ball.
Kohli and Jadeja.
The guy tried to man-cut to run him out, backing up.
Yes.
He missed his stumps.
Yes.
Well, this is something
right.
Yeah.
We had some exciting matches.
Have been very exciting.
Yeah, very close.
Very
There are a couple of super overs as well.
Well, they have that super overs.
The
only thing I don't like, they have this thing now, impact players.
Yes, I don't have impact players.
Okay, it's like in baseball, Ozzy. In American baseball, they have the American League and the National League. The National League, the pitchers bat. In the American League, the pitchers don't bat, but they have something they call the designated hitter. Yeah. So he bats for the pitcher. So I don't like that because
the cricket is changing.
Cricket should be 11 men batting.
Yeah, man.
And this thing
you
about
have substitutes coming to bat.
I don't believe in this thing. So, but it's easy. When you win the toss, all you have to do, and then you can use somebody to bat.
Yes.
Okay.
Impact players.
Quickly, we have Donnie Robinson on the line. We just want to talk a little basketball.
Yes.
Good night, Donnie.
Hey, good night, gentlemen.
How are you, man?
Good evening, man. Good evening.
Well, we missed you last week, so you can tell us what had happened. Last week, we were supposed to have been in touch with you.
Well, last week I was busy trying to spread my wings in cricket.
I realize that. I see you have bought a team now. I see you own a team in the T10. That's good. That's progress, man. Progress.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Well, tell us about basketball. I'm sure you don't want to talk about cricket now. You want to talk about because now you are the president of the Basketball Association, right? Am I correct?
Yes, I am.
Right. So you can tell the listeners out there they're listening.
Yes. So, well, good night, folks. Again, basketball is ongoing. We know the knockout version of the league ended 2 weeks ago. We had the Fishley Falcons, Dr. Darrow team, sponsored by Dr. Darrow, winning that knockout. The regular season version kicked in yesterday, and games are ongoing tonight. So there'll be games from last night to Saturday night, and there'll be games every week moving forward for the next 2.5 to 3 months. Wednesdays to Saturdays at the Massac indoor facilities. Mm-hmm. I just want to touch on that as you brought it up. We had our AGM a few weeks ago, and I'm now the president of the association. A new team on board. We have actually 3 new members joining 4 of the past members. So we are 7 strong now, and we're hoping to continue for a mandate and take basketball to where we think it can be.
When do you hope to start the season itself, the real competition among all the teams?
Well, that started last night, as I said. So,
okay, last night.
Last night, yes. We had 2 games last night. We have 2 games on tonight, 2 tomorrow, and 3 on Saturday.
Are you using the court at Massac? Are you all playing there?
Yes, we are playing on the indoor court in Massac, and all the games for this week are scheduled for Massac. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So, well, that's good. I mean, so the venues you're going to use Massac. You're using where again, Fishley, you said?
No, well, we plan to have some out-district games looking at Fishley and Portsmouth and Paybush, hopefully, as the season goes on, and we reserve our Sundays for that, and we're going to schedule the games based on the weather outlook and
ad hocly based on the teams from the various districts that are playing. So we reserve Sundays in our plan for that. But these are the 3 places that we're looking at.
Okay. Lobby, you wanted to ask? Oh, Donnie, well, I know you're all wrong. You've been following the play-ins now, right? To get to the playoffs, right? In the NBA. I mean, you saw the Lakers. I mean, I wanted them to win. I mean, they look like they're getting the own at the right time, eh? The Lakers. They play
Yes.
They play on Sunday, I think, against Memphis, right?
Yes. I'm a diehard Laker fan, so I'm happy they got in. But the next round going to be tough against Memphis. But the regular season was pretty balanced between the two teams. So
well, they could won 2 out of the 3 games against them.
Exactly.
In the regular season. They could won 2.
But,
and you know, Donnie, I always say, when it comes to the playoffs, you never count LeBron James out, honestly. When it comes to the playoffs, that's one guy people can trust, his teammates can trust him.
Yeah, I think it's tough to beat LeBron in 5 or 7 games.
Exactly.
You know, we have to be realistic. Now, teams have figured out ways to play around that, but in a 5-game series, it's going to be tough. I wouldn't bet against him.
Exactly.
At least not bet against him for sure.
What is Durant doing? The great Durant.
Well, they, in fact, most people have his team, the Phoenix Suns, as the favorites. I mean, because with him and Devin Booker and Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, they have a powerful team down there. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Lobby, you were saying, Lobby, you wanted to ask a question. Donnie, a question.
I'm going to say last night game, I mean, Lakers is my team, but I was happy that we won. I was surprised the way I was surprised the way the team played last night without 2 of their key players.
Last night. You mean not last night? Tuesday night, you mean?
Tuesday night, yeah, without 2 of the key players were not there. But they are a shooting team. They're a dangerous team, Timberwolves, a dangerous team.
Yeah, the Timberwolves is built around the big men, but with Cat still there, it's impossible to count them out. These guys, they match up pretty well with Lakers, even without their 7-footer. So
they
had a guy that just when he had a night out of this world, he couldn't miss a 3-point shot. So it was a tough game,
but Okay, so Donnie, we will allow you to go and get involved with your basketball. So next week, we'll probably give us a comprehensive report on the matches that will have been played during the week. Okay?
No problem. I will put that together for you guys next week. Give me a call. Let me know what time you need me, and I'll try to give you guys some weekly updates as we go through. But thanks for having us. Basketball, we're trying to bring it back in a big way. I must say the finals of the knockouts the facility was sold out for the first time. It was really good to see the participation. The game was a high-level game, and we're hoping that basketball, as it goes through the season, can bring some more momentum. So thanks for always keeping the channels open. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Okay, man, Donnie. Good, man.
We have to take a break now. The last break.
We have about 9 minutes left.
So we'll take a break now.
Hello. You ever get a compliment like that? Belle come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Hello, you ever get a compliment like that? Belle come Maribel. Well, Maribel is giving it away. No, not your neighbor Maribel. I'm talking about the line of Maribel products at AC Shillingford and Company Limited. And yes, you can win a rice cooker. Just mix and match any 5 Maribel products, be it pasta, lasagna, oil, tuna, jasmine and parboiled rice, mac and cheese, pet rice, or mackerel. To qualify, simply write your name, address, telephone number at the back of your receipt of purchase and place it in the box provided at any ACS location. ACS Downtown on King George V Street, High Street, and Pottersville. Call us at 275-3428 or visit us at the main branch on King George V Street to place your bulk orders. The draw takes place on Friday, 14th April 2023. Imagine belle, eat well with ACS and Maribel.
Yes, back to Sports Wrap. We only have about 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left on this program, so we're very much on the home stretch. So, Rocket, we don't have much to do.
We don't have much at all, much time.
But I think that Dominica team was playing some cricket
in
recently.
fact, I was just messaging the
Dominica
coach,
women,
Sam Cunnan.
women, yeah.
He's telling me that he's at cricket all now in St. Lucia.
Yes.
They're playing with, they haven't done well.
I think Pearl Agent's name was called, scored some runs.
She's made some runs, and Shemelwa made some runs as well.
Right.
And
But they lost every match.
And they're playing the 20s now.
Yeah.
And the Dominica under 19 leaves on Saturday for St. Lucia for the Windward Islands under 19 tournament.
Yeah.
So that starts in St. Lucia on Sunday.
That's cricket.
The Dominica under 19 team.
Okay,
In fact, Liam, well, as a selector, he's a selected Windwards too, so he has to be up there.
Yeah.
So they leave on Saturday. Ray Kazim is the coach. I think Rafa is the manager.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to St. Lucia for a tournament which starts on Sunday in St. Lucia. So as the women are coming back, the young men are going up. Up to St. Lucia. They go by boat, I think, Saturday afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure. I think.
Well, the women in the weather tall. The Dominica women.
Well, women cricket in the Caribbean have been on the low. As you said, we spoke about Courtney Walsh earlier on, who was ceremoniously dumped unceremoniously dumped. Yeah, as the coach of the women's team.
He didn't take it kindly at all.
No, he said they should have given him 2 months
at
notice.
least 2 months notice.
But Western cricket, that's how it operates. Nothing changes. That's how it has been. Yeah. And it looks like they don't want to change it. And
Wolf wasn't successful at all.
But again, we have to appreciate our great players. I mean, sometimes there's a better way of doing things. To just call a man and tell him, well, you have lost your job. It's a job, and just like that. Yeah. Call him, bam, you fired. No notice. No notice. Yeah. I mean, that's a bad way to operate. They just don't seem to change it.
Walsh felt very bad about it.
I can imagine how he felt.
Sebastian.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Go on. Yeah. This is why Western cricket is in that state. Is the way we have treated our past players. So that's the problem we have. We have no respect at all. We have totally no respect.
Yeah, I find it really bad. You just call a man and tell him, yeah, that's it. And fire everybody else,
He said he had other plans. Yes, he said so, that he knew that. Give them time.
Right,
there's other plans.
He could have applied somewhere.
Right.
Exactly.
Sebastian, just something I don't want to touch on. When you started your SIVO, you're talking on health.
Right.
One of the problem I always find with us we cannot attract specialists because first of all our salaries, and we send people to Cuba over the years, and we come back with general practitioners. Yeah. There's no food, nobody going back to
specializing afterwards. Yes, you're
but
right.
But Lobby, they have the point I'm making, and that's why I said in the budget in July, increase the allocation for health, because when you have people just dying, the country will go nowhere. When you have 18 death announcements in one day, that cannot make sense. Yeah. Spend money, get specialists in the place, because most people cannot afford to be flown away. So anytime you hear somebody sick, when is he flying out? You cannot live like that. The authorities need to get specialists.
That's been going on for a long time.
Too long. As I say, we need to do better than that. If anything, I'll say anything people should be protesting for in Dominica is the state of healthcare. We are in a sad situation, and we need to do better. And I'm saying not a destructive criticism, constructive. Please, the authorities, help out the populace. Get specialists. Let us get proper equipment in the hospital so people can be, because most people cannot afford
obviously
to go on a plane and go. Most people.
After
we're just in a sorry state. So we're urging them, please, my God, help out the people. Ozzy, you have the last word.
No, but I don't know if you've been following tennis of late, and our boy Djokovic was beaten today.
I know.
By an Italian guy called Lorenzo Lucetti, something like that.
To me, the way he started the game, I wasn't happy the way he was playing.
Okay.
That wasn't the Djokovic who really started the game, with he was not assertive at all.
Yeah. But did you see the match between Zverev and Medvedev today?
Yes.
That was a good match today.
It reminded me of the final they had week before last.
Right. But in the end, they went to a tie break, and Medvedev won the tie break. Mm-hmm. But it was a good match. It was. But I was surprised the way the German played because of the injury he had last year. Yes. He played very well. I was shocked. Alexander Zverev, yes. But he's now ranked number 13. He's to be in the top 4,
Well, remember, because of the injury he missed a lot of games.
He was dropped down to 13, trying to come back.
The way I saw him playing on clay, I said to myself, what? That is a remarkable recovery.
Soon we're going to have the French Open again.
I know.
Is Nadal playing the French Open?
It depends. To me, Nadal should call today.
He's looking for number 14, They've won 14 times.
It's just impossible right now. It's highly impossible. With these new guns they have, Aussie, even the top 100 right now, they're playing very well.
Yeah, boy. Good guys. Some great young guys up there now.
I mean, they can serve and for these guys, they have remarkable stuff. They are power. What I find, the women are too inconsistent.
Women, yes. Nobody stays at the level for a long time. They keep fluctuating their position all the time. Up and down.
They're like a currency. They're just fluctuating.
You're quite right. Right.
And I will meet you all next week.
You'll be back, right? Okay.
I'll be out.
You'll be out. Okay.
Okay,
Lobbies. Thanks a lot. It's after 8, so
take care.
Until next time. Thank you very much.
All right.
Manuel Low Black there out there in the States, and on behalf of Dr. Sebastian and I see Hector John just coming in now, so very soon. Well, now I want to say cheerio and make way for the workers' voice. But just to say once again that Sports Trap should be on next week Thursday as usual at the appointed time, 6 o'clock. So thanks, listeners all over the world listening to Sports Trap. Austin Lewis saying bye-bye until next Thursday.